Hey everybody, welcome back. Didn't really intend on playing so much Isaac today, but when the game's feeding you, 20-minute runs over and over, what are you supposed to do? 7A3J0EK1. Hopefully this doesn't... I can't. It's so... Our fire rate is already so bad. I can't take Eve's Mascara yet. This run is pretty bad to start with, by the way, but hopefully, over time, we'll... Really, our damage is fine. We just need a rate of fire increase. That's it. And the fact that we can fly is extremely nice, obviously, but... yeah, it's, hopefully this doesn't end up being one of those situations where I'm like, everything's great, let's do one more, and then I do one more, and it's like, you get nothing. But anyway, it's crazy to think, I do need to say thank you. We have hit 835,000 subscribers. Now, there's not everything... How do I want to phrase this? I was going to say not everything is created equal on YouTube. That's not really what I meant. But, not all YouTubers are in the same spot, right? There's some YouTubers I follow, even people that I've worked with a little bit, when they celebrate milestones, they celebrate, every 100,000. That's amazing. I'm happy for them. And there's some YouTubers I follow who is every 100 subscribers, they go, thank you so much for the support. People are always appreciative of the support. Don't think oh, just because I was subscriber, 173,312, I'm any less valuable than subscriber 175,000 or whatever. But, different channels, they're growing at different rates. Originally coming into 2020, I had set a goal, which is I want to hit 1 million subscribers in 2020. Obviously, we're going to stop short of that goal, but it was really it's one of those situations where it's shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. Like a goal is something you want to achieve, but it's also a point on the horizon that you can look to as kind of a guiding star for organizing the way that you want your content to go, or, let me put it this way. Because I think it's relatable to stuff that's not just YouTube as well. Maybe you're a little out of shape right now. Maybe you're in 2021, I want to lose 30 pounds. If 2021 finished and you only lost 20 pounds, would you be disappointed with yourself? I suppose there might be a little bit of disappointment that you set a goal and you didn't quite reach it, but at the same time, you're demonstrably better off, at the end of that year than you were at the start of that year, so you're moving in the right direction. It's kind of the way I'm choosing to look at it. And the alternative is, you could lose 50 pounds maybe, I don't know, if you got 50 pounds to lose in the first place. That's how I'm looking at it. 1 million was kind of that was a stretch goal. I didn't think it was likely, but to be honest, for 3 or 4 years on YouTube, there's been basically... I'm not complaining. My overall numbers in viewership have been totally fine. They wax and they wane a little bit with the respective new series and stuff like that. And, as people get tired of long-running series and, the interest in stuff like Isaac always waxes and wanes based on whether people think the DLC is actually going to come out or are you on an amazing streak or whatever. But either way, in terms of, subscribership, we'd kind of been... I don't want to say treading water, but it was like a tide, As new subscribers came in, you would also lose a certain amount of subscribers who are you know what, I don't really like this guy anymore, and I hate seeing his 5 videos per day clog up my feed. And I take no offense to that, by the way. I go through phases where I watch a TV channel or something like that, because you get really interested into gardening, and then it's December and you're I don't like gardening anymore, get out of here, right? It's the viewer's choice. But of course it's always you want to see growth if possible. Steadiness is good. You don't want to see declines, which a lot of YouTubers see, and I see in micro now and then, if that makes sense. We definitely need this tiers up. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have taken HP right off the bat, but that was beautiful. But yeah, so that might seem negative. It's actually very positive. The fact that, this year we went from about 800,000 subscribers to 835,000 subscribers is huge for me. That's the most subscriber gain I've had in a year. Probably since, the original Afterbirth came out, is my guess. We'll grab this, blow you up. So it's just nice, you know, to see things moving in a positive direction again. And thank you for that. Now, I will also acknowledge we are behind on some milestones. That's because, I mean, when we wrote those milestones, it was in February, you know? So the world was in a different place. We had not yet announced the pregnancy. So, like, the 825,000 subscription goal was supposed to be Split or Steal, which was a game that, you know, I did a Northernlion tries of that was very popular and was a lot of fun. But now is kind of, you know, it doesn't have the same not viewer base, but player base. So we got to do something else there. And then 830 is a Planet Zoo series, which is actually something that hopefully in the new year I will be able to do. Just a little strapped for time because of the baby. But 835 is I'm going to do a collaboration with a YouTuber by the name of Ross Boomsocks, YouTuber and streamer, where I'm going to play my first ever League of Legends games, which should be fun, should be exciting. And again, people, I don't know, so much... stop me if you've heard this one before, for sure, but so many people have been like, he's gonna hate League, I don't think you should play League, I think you should play this instead, and I'm like, man, you know, just let it go. Like, it's just, you know, one video. We're just gonna have one cool video where we're gonna play League of Legends, and then, you know, it's done. And it's in the spirit of trying new things. I guess I've gotta, you know, grow up myself as well. You know, I can't just be like, I'm gonna try new things, and then if someone's like, I don't think this new thing is a good idea, I'm like, you know, that's ridiculous. You know, inevitably some of them are not gonna work out. But that's that's what you gotta do in order to inject some fresh blood into things, right? In particular, I gotta tell you, I was like amazed. Like, on the YouTube analytics side of things, you can see like how videos do across a variety of metrics. So like Isaac does, and don't shoot the messenger, okay? Isaac does like really badly if your goal as a content creator is to get new fans. It's horrible, it's poison, okay? However, it carries a certain value in a couple of different ways. One is the people who like it tend to watch it, you know, for a long, long time. I'm not going to say forever, but I'd say the average person who watches like 5 Isaac episodes probably goes on to watch like 100, right? If not more. The average person who watches 1 probably watches about 1.1. They go, I'm getting off of the fire hose as soon as possible. But if people stick around for a bit, they tend to be likely to stick around for a long time. So, you know, it's kind of like it's a consistent engine in that respect. And then the other thing is, and I'm not going to get too much into the details of it because it's inside baseball to the extent that people like probably don't really care that much. But, you know, you make money on YouTube via advertising, but then they've also introduced the feature called YouTube Premium, and the way that YouTube Premium works is like you pay, I don't know, 12 bucks a month or something like that. You get an ad-free experience on the entire site, and then Google takes their cut off the top, and then they pay out the rest to creators based on the proportion of your YouTube experience that you spend on, you know, each creator. So you know, just hypothetically, let's say it's 10 bucks a month, and then you watch, you know, 50% me by watch time in minutes and 50% like, you know, Dan or something like that, then Dan and I split whatever the cut is after Google has taken their hit. So there it actually, like, over time, kind of declining interest in, and again, stop me if you don't care about this at all, but the declining interest in Isaac, which is natural given the fact that, you know, the game is quite old at this point, has in some ways been hedged by the fact that YouTube Premium has come out, and, you know, that pays out based on watch time. And obviously if you're watching Isaac, you know, you tend to watch, you know, maybe like 10, 20, 30 minutes on average and then fall asleep. Hold on, I got a Discord message here, making sure it's not baby stuff. Okay, not baby stuff, which means it can wait. So yeah, and then, like, again, I'm not complaining about Isaac. Isaac, it is what it is, and also eventually the DLC is going to come out, and that's going to be sweet for everybody, including the viewer. However, I had a lot of series historically that were basically doing the same thing as Isaac. You know, Isaac, if you look at the analytics for subscriptions, every episode that comes out tends to probably lose like 3 people. And I don't take offense to it. I do see that there's a lot of YouTubers. You can get caught in like YouTube quicksand, is the way that I describe it. So, you know, especially if you've had a YouTube channel for a long time, you go through periods of growth, you go through periods of kind of contraction, right? If you just go through growth, then I'm happy for you. I should be talking to you about how to run the business, right? But you go through periods of growth, you go through periods of contraction. The problem is if you like take some time off from YouTube and then you come back, and I see this all the time. Let's say you took 6 months off from YouTube and then you come back. Every video you publish for like a year is going to lose you subscribers in some way. It'll also gain you subscribers because, you know, it'll be feeding the content into the algorithm. But some people are going to be like, oh, I hadn't thought about this guy for 6 months, so now I'm going to just, you know, unsubscribe because I'm not interested in his stuff anymore. Like, they almost get like a pop-up that's like, remember this guy? Do you still like him? And then inevitably, some percentage of people are going to say no. It's just the way that it goes. Like, you've done that historically in the past. You know, you've been subscribed to a newsletter or something, and then eventually, you know, you forgot that you were on woot.com or something like that, and they're like, hey, do you want to buy like a Bluetooth shower speaker? And you're like, ew, unsubscribe from this list, please. So you can't take offense to it. But then, you know, they publish a video, their subscriber count goes down by 100 people. And they go, okay, what the heck? I just put work in order to, like, do worse. But that's not really the way you can think about it, right? Like, the only way you're ever going to get anywhere on YouTube is by making content. So you kind of just got to accept that, you know, you're going to burn off a little bit of that for a while. And, you know, at the end of the day, you don't... Your livelihood does not depend on your number of subscribers. It depends on your viewership. The people that were going to unsubscribe from you, really, like, the mistake is not that you published something that got them to unsubscribe. The mistake is that, you know, you considered them part of your subscriber count anyway, when actually they were never going to watch another video you ever published. But I get, like, you know, I just, you have to interpret it right, because otherwise, I feel like if I had just explained, like, every time I publish an Isaac video, I lose 3 subscribers, you would be like, well, why don't you stop making them? Well, you know, because every time I publish an Isaac episode, I do also, you know, make some grocery money. So there's different analytics, and I'm happy we actually have, like, at this point, we have series that, like, do different things, if that makes sense. You know, Isaac is at the consistent, like, you know, habit. Everybody that wants to watch it is going to watch it. They're going to put it on to fall asleep. They know I'm not going to randomly shout too much and wake them up. And, you know, if that's the only service that I can provide, I can live with that. That would be enough for me. And then, you know, you're going to laugh. And it just goes to show you that I should have listened to people more when they told me this ages ago. But chess is actually, like, driving more fresh eyeballs to this channel than any series probably, like, in the last 2 or 3 years. Even, I don't know, Fall Guys did really well too for a long time, but, like, more than Slay the Spire, I think, at least at this point in their relative life cycles, you know, as a series. More than Monster Train. Like, I was looking at the analytics the other day. I don't have too much time to look at the analytics, and I'm not really that much... Sure, why not? I'm not really an analytics-driven guy that is exclusively gonna, you know, structure my content towards, you know, what does best for viewership. You know, like, you gotta... a lot of things factor in. Viewership, yes, but also, like, am I having fun playing it? You know, are people vocal about enjoying it, or are they like, I clicked on this video because I got tricked and now I hate you, you know? But looking at the chess analytics, I was like, what the... Like, every chess video that comes out generates, like, 50 to 100 new subscribers, which is just absurd. Like, that's numbers I have not seen in forever. So, again, you know, I think there's a lesson to be learned here, and one of the valuable lessons there is, hey, when people tell you they want to, like, en masse, they want to see you play something, maybe give it a try. Instead of being like... I don't think you know what you're talking about. Anyway. Suffice it to say, no, like, I hope people don't take this as a negative, you know? Things are good. Things are good. And honestly, like, from a YouTube perspective, again, what? Oh, okay, you're alive. Like, numbers never tanked for me. Like, I definitely never got to the point, and I'm very blessed to have this, and I recognize that I am responsible for some of it. Like, and this is tooting my own horn. But part of the reason that, like, I think people have stuck around on my YouTube channel, whereas a lot of YouTubers have eaten it a little bit, is because of the fact that I've been consistently, like, putting out tons of content on it and showing respect for the audience on a regular basis. I'm not trying to say, like, you know, it's something that everybody's capable of, but I definitely, when I'm like, hey, why did this YouTuber, you know, why do they have such declining numbers and my numbers are kind of flat? It's probably, you know, a certain part of it is probably that I kind of maintained an interest and output on the platform. Even, you know, through the ebbs and flows of YouTube's own kind of popularity and controversies, right? Yeah, but anyway, I feel blessed that, like, we were never in a position where I was like, well, maybe it's time to just, like, axe YouTube completely. But now this is like the first year in a few years for real where I'm like, things are going really actually well on this platform. Like, actually on the up and up instead of just on the, you know, on the flatness, which is fine. I think we still, like, I'm tempted to take Blue Candle, but I think we still roll Book of Revelations. It's just, it's so hard to lose. All right, I'll take it. It's so hard to lose with Book of Revelations, right? Anyway. Pardon me, I had a little... You ever get, like, a hungry burp? And that's what happened right there. Like, I'm a little hungry, but I can't... I couldn't eat lunch in advance of this video because it would have been at, like, 10:58 a.m. So, if anything, this Isaac video is serving as a distraction before I can actually get to, like, a real lunchtime. So anyway, that's where things are at on YouTube. And I do feel bad that the milestones have been slow. The only thing I will say in my defense, you know, we knocked out the Doki Doki milestone, and that was great. Everybody had a good time. Then we had a baby. That's really what it comes down to. Like, split or steal, I'm trying to figure out what we're going to do instead of that. But that's an easy one. That'll just be like some kind of one-off video. Yeah, the baby has made it a little bit more... Not really the baby, but the time that comes with having the baby has put a little bit more of a strain on the slightly more ambitious milestones. We might rework some of those milestones. Like the one at 850, I do not want to touch. 850 is ranking every item in Isaac. That's a huge carrot on a stick for me. Like I want to do that one because I think it'll be a test of endurance. But, you know, we might rework, like, 840, because I think 840 was supposed to be Alien Isolation, but then people told me, like, Alien Isolation's actually, like, pretty long. So I was gonna rework it into another horror game to begin with, but we might even rework it into something a little bit shorter. Like, I still want it to be in the same spirit of being, like, a horror playthrough, but maybe we'll do it, you know, we'll try to find something that's maybe in, like, that 4-hour range instead of, 20 or something. Like, I thought Alien Isolation was like 6 hours long. I hear it's great, don't get me wrong. But anyway, yeah, so I guess this is like a little bit of an inside baseball episode for sure. I mean, I've been kind of blessed. YouTube's been very nice to me. And I mean, like, as a platform, not just as like a livelihood, but I've been having like content strategy meetings with YouTube just out of nowhere. You know, on YouTube, on Twitch, I get a lot of communication from, you know, the company when I want or need it. On YouTube, you kind of just like wait for something to hit your inbox, and then you go, oh, that's something. So back in like October, they were like, hey, you're part of this new like 6-month content strategy program where you can have like monthly meetings with a partner manager who can show you like analytics that you don't even see on the dashboard as a creator, which might have you wondering why you can't see them on the dashboard as a creator in the first place if they're so valuable. But you know, you can kind of pick their brain because they've worked with other channels in the past and like see what works and what doesn't. And there's been a lot of really like interesting insights that I've seen as a result of that. In particular, being able to see like what the most popular videos are by subscribers and by non-subscribers, if that makes sense. And like most of the stuff that's covered in the meetings like is confidential, and I don't even think it's sensitive, but I'm just trying not to ruffle, you know, any feathers on the platform side. But like it's really funny looking at like the metrics that I have versus the metrics that like the average YouTube channel has, because they're like totally like inverted and wacky. And my partner manager is always going like, you know, these numbers are crazy. Sometimes crazy good, sometimes crazy maybe not so good, but still. You know, like the proportion of my total watch time that comes from subscribers is like so much higher than the mean. Which is to say that like if you are a subscriber, you probably watch a lot, but my content has like very little appeal to people who are not already subscribed, which is, you know, the kind of thing you can work on. But it was really funny looking at like a breakdown of how like different videos perform in different demographics, like not like, you know, age, geography and stuff like that, but you know, like when they pulled a list of like, hey, here's your best performing videos with your subscribers, it was literally just pages and pages of NLSS VODs. It was all like, but I think the fact that those videos are 3 hours long kind of screws up the report. And then when it was like, here's videos that do the best with non-subscribers, it was all like episode 1 of every single series I've ever done. And I was like, that makes sense. Anyway, so this is inside baseball, but this is all very positive inside baseball. Like if you pitched to me that like if you said in January of 2020, hey NL, by the end of the year you're gonna have like 835,000 subscriptions. Subscribers, I should say. That'd be a lot of subscriptions. You wouldn't be able to use your homepage for sure. You know, you're gonna have had like the opportunity to have done a few Twitch rivals. You're gonna, I mean, yes, you'll also have a baby. But like just professionally, you will have done some Twitch rivals. You know, you will have beaten basically all of the Souls games again on camera. I think I would have been like, you know what, this sounds like a very positive year. I think it was. And what's weird is that there's actually like, it feels like the growth is kind of accelerating now too, which I hope is the case, but you kind of, you know, you got to keep a constant accelerator on it, if that makes sense. But anyway, all this is to say, I consider 2020 to have been a successful year content-wise. There's been ups and downs, for sure. And obviously this all goes, you know, this is outside of the actual reality of what's happened in the real world in 2020, which has been a little bit of a year that's twisted up, to put it more politely. But yeah, so thank you. I recognize, like, I deserve some credit. Maybe some might even say the bulk of the credit as well for, you know, taking an opportunity to please the fan base that's been around for a long time while also doing what I consider to be a good and necessary job of some freshness to inject some new life and excitement into the channel. But you know, thanks for allowing me to do it. There's YouTube audiences out there where you know, they're famous for playing like one game, and then if they want to play anything else, people are like, nah, dude, play more League. Play more League. For me, literally, people are like, for the love of God, can one of these milestones be like, stop playing Isaac? And I'm like, no, not yet anyway. This is another very, very quick run. Certainly not complaining. Can I complain about one thing? Will you allow one complaint here? It's a very simple one. I think you're going to know what it is. Why TF are damage so beat? You know what I mean? Why the heck is our damage so bad? We have... I thought we had 3 damage. Now it says we have 5. I was wondering maybe I'm in like Succubus's range or something. Like this room is just it's a freaking slog, man. Really, like, the run is carried by a couple of things. One of them is Daddy Longlegs. One of them is our orbitals. Daddy Longlegs is really insulating us from a lot of the potential disaster we could otherwise experience. And our orbitals are doing the rest. Either way. So it's been good, man. It's been good. Can't complain. Anytime in the middle of what is essentially like a self-imposed quarantine, anytime that I can find 3 Isaac videos of stuff worth talking about, or to talk about, yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes even I don't understand what's going on with the English language, but you got to consider it a pretty good morning. So that's the kind of stuff that's been on my mind lately. An industry-wide downturn in the casino market, which I'm personally predicting. Good year on YouTube and Twitch, and then also the Queen's Gambit. Good show, but the episode's a little long. I don't think that's a good review, by the way. I'm waiting until now. It's like 2 episodes later since I brought it up, but I should become the guy who objectively reviews Netflix shows. You know, 86-minute runtime. Wow, somebody thinks they're important. Anyway, it's just a joke that's been done before. Objective reviews. We don't need to get into it. I don't really have anything to say. You know, anything I would say would just be like, Cyberpunk, which I haven't even played and likely never will. So, you know, it's not really my discussion to be had. For the time being, it's always that awkward moment where you're like done with what you're talking about, but there's probably like another 90 seconds left in this Isaac episode, so you're like, what do I do? Hey, how do you guys feel about and then this is where you would say a controversial topic. How do you feel about climate change? Ooh, probably the most controversial topic of all. I was laughing the other day, like, so I don't know anything about Ariana Grande, except that she was in Zoolander 2, which is a very bad movie. She got engaged, I guess, because Twitter, you know, feeds me this news, and I clicked on it because I don't know what I'm doing with my life. And it was like, Ariana Grande gets engaged, the 27-year-old singer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, you know what, good for her. And then, like, one of the top replies in the Twitter trending tab is like, hey, dear Ariana Grande, I'm a middle-aged man who doesn't listen to the radio. If I can name 3 men that you've been engaged to, you might have a problem. Seek help. And I'm like, she might have a... She's 27 years old, man. Like, I'm not trying to defend her. I'm more just like, you're weird. You're like a 40-year-old man, and you're like, hey, Ariana Grande, I don't care about you, but, you know, be involved in less romantic relationships. Why don't you mind your own business, you old weirdo? Just very strange to me that you would be like... Then he got like a lot of heat for the tweet, I guess, so he made a reply that was like, I just got done building a bench, and I came back to have my mentions flooded by Ariana Grande stans. This is the life. And I'm like, dude, what are you... You're old. Just like... Let her live her life. She's kind of old. She's 27. She can handle her own decisions. Why are you wading into this stuff that's not your business at all? Anyway, just mind your own business, man. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!